Hello, this is Tyler Mahonen with Keystone Farm. Just shooting a video today down here at the lower section of this paddock. I gave them a really big paddock a couple days ago. And goats, sheep, I think cows to a certain extent too, they want to be safe, so they usually only hang out in the higher elevation of their paddock. You can see this is a hillside here. So far they've only grazed, we'll walk up in a little bit, but they've only grazed the top of the paddock. But if I come down here as kind of the shepherd, they'll follow me and they'll come down here and graze. There's a lot of good forage down here for them and diversity. But they value their safety so much that as long as there's enough to eat up there, they'll stay up there and just graze up there. Eventually they'll come down here, once there's nothing much to eat up there, but they'll always graze the top of a paddock first, meaning like higher up on a hill. That's so they can see predators and stuff easier when they're higher up than when they're down here. There's predators that could be lurking behind any bush, and there's just more cover down here. We want to keep more cover down here for deer hunting, so I didn't completely clear everything out down here. But as we walk up this hill, you can see I did quite a bit of clearing, so just more forage can grow. If you have so many trees that the sunlight can't reach the ground, you'll get nothing growing on the ground, and then essentially you get a vertical desert where you have plenty of leaf and green matter in the canopy, but lower down you have nothing because the sunlight can't reach the ground and nothing can grow without sunlight. Now there's some things that can grow, but not much. So these goats haven't delivered yet. Our first two goats have delivered. You've seen in previous videos that Nigerian dwarf goat, it delivered. The first kid was dead when it delivered, and then the second one was alive but not doing well. And then the last one we did, we ended up putting her down because she couldn't quite push out the last one and didn't think she would make it, so we harvested her for meat. And kind of unfortunate, but we bought her from a different farm and didn't have the best start to her life. So when animals aren't in environments like this and just confined to a barn and fed grain, they have a harder time, can have a harder time giving birth and doing the natural processes that animals do naturally, that they shouldn't need all these extra comforts and inputs. So we still have a lot of Nigerian dwarf influence on our herd. The first bucks we had here they were half Nigerian dwarf, but it was a good experiment with that, and you always learn something when something like that happens. You can see they're going uphill right now. They don't like hanging down there too much, even though I was down there. But even if they hadn't started going uphill, as soon as I started walking uphill, they would follow me. What I would do is, or what I will do is, as they'll graze, the upper portion of the paddock, and then I'll cross fence it as I go down and force them to go downhill so they don't overgraze the upper portions of the paddock. And eventually I'll get, right now we're still using the netting, but planning on putting some interior fences here with high tensile wire, so that it's just quicker to move them and more efficient to graze. There's not much grass in here, but it's perfect goat feed. You got all these. This is a black cherry sprout. Bunch of sprouts, as I've shown on previous videos, that as summer goes on there'll even be more. It'll just be a sea of tree sprouts. As you can see here, I cut these down last summer, and some of them are sprouted back really fast. This is another black cherry. Some of them haven't sprouted as fast. I don't know why there's a difference, but this is about their favorite box elder. I think there's probably a lot of sugar in the box elder. And this is basswood here. It's always interesting what they'll eat and what they don't eat. They know full well what they need. When it's close to kidding time, I like to give them a little bit bigger paddocks, because they can be a little bit more choosy. I think it ensures that their kids will have everything they need and have a better chance of having a successful birthing process, and milk will come in good. This Saanen just delivered either probably last night, maybe I guess yesterday. Kids are licked off. I think I had twins. We probably won't start milking her for a couple weeks. Make sure the kids get all they need. Good start to their life. I've been a little bit worried. This tan one's kind of a bully. But a little worried that she'd bully the kids, but so far when I've been out here, they haven't done anything. I haven't seen them nurse yet. I just kind of got out here, but I'm sure they're just taking a nap and relaxing right now. They're actually pretty good size. This one was a little ways away from the mom when I got out here, so I moved her closer. Kind of full of mud. He must have been in some dirt or something when they delivered, and kind of got stuck to the liquid that's surrounding the. Usually the mother licks them off dry, but maybe she didn't want to lick the mud off. So yeah, here's the upper portion of the paddock. I'll show you the cross fence I already did. They had already grazed the very top of this paddock, so I cross fenced it, and so they can't have access to that anymore. I also separated the livestock guardian dog. Probably would have been fine, but I was wondering if they're nervous of the dog being with them when they giving birth. So wasn't a big deal to separate it out, and once they all give birth, I'll put it back with the goats. Here's our water tank. Got the Jobe Mega Float. Here's the cross fence. We bale grazed this past winter, and we had burned a brush pile right there, so that's why there's a big bare patch, but it's already coming back a little bit from the bale grazing. Usually the dog sleeps all day, but up all night, sleeps all day. So yeah, more videos to come as the rest of the goats keep giving birth. Pretty exciting.